So in this video, guys, I want to talk to you guys about, is it expensive to do carnivore and can you afford to do carnivore? So if you guys are new here, my name is Susan Velez, and on this channel, we talk about making money, saving money, investing money, and taking care of our health so that we can catch up for retirement, especially if you are late to saving for retirement like me. So I know I do a lot of research on carnivore. I've been on a lot of forums, YouTube channels, and everything. And a lot of people say they won't go carnivore because it's too expensive. And we all know that the cost of groceries and everything continues to climb, and it can be expensive, especially if you're on the typical sad American diet. You know that buying something processed is a lot cheaper than buying something that is not processed. So in this video, guys, I want to share with you guys some tips on how to do carnivore so that it doesn't break the bank. And I'm also going to share with you guys how we managed to buy 65 pounds worth of beef at Costco for $375 with tax included. And I want to give you guys a little bit of tips on how to do this if you have a Costco membership and you do live by a Costco. So first of all, carnivore can be as expensive as you want it to be. This means that if you're eating nothing but grass-fed, you're eating nothing but ribeyes, and you're buying the most expensive cuts, it is going to be expensive. However, if you download the apps, the grocery apps in your area, and you pay attention to the sales and you only buy what you can afford to buy without breaking the bank, it doesn't have to be as expensive as you think it's going to be. Plus, I know a lot of people say that grass-fed is a lot better to eat than, regular grain-fed beef. But if you can't afford it, then it really doesn't matter. If you're cutting out all the refined stuff, all the bad carbohydrates and the sugar, you're going to be a lot better off than somebody who just doesn't do anything to improve their health. And while I think diet is such a huge thing, I think that any little change that you make to your diet is going to have a huge impact on your life. Now, I'm not saying we can control everything through diet, but I think we do have controls, a little bit of control through our diet. If we can take care of ourselves right now when we're younger, chances are that you're not going to have to worry about going to the doctor all the time. You're not going to have to worry about paying for prescriptions, and you're just going to feel better overall, guys. And then another tip I have for you guys is, once you actually start eating animal-based foods only, this means beef, bacon, butter, eggs, then you don't have to worry about buying all that other stuff that you used to buy all the time. I know our pantry was always filled with potato chips, nuts. We would buy all kinds of stuff on top of our regular food. Well, when you go to the grocery store, it's a lot easier to go shopping because you know what you're buying and you don't buy all those other things, meaning that you're not going through all the aisles, up and down all the aisles, trying to find something to fill your basket with. You just know what you're going in for and you're coming out. So as long as you're going shopping when you find a sale and you avoid buying all those other things that you typically buy, then you won't have to worry about it being so expensive. And then the last tip I have for you guys is, I know with us going animal-based or carnivore, we have actually stopped eating out so much. We do eat out every once in a blue moon, but chances are you're going to want to cook from home, because once you start cooking for yourself and you start preparing the food the way you like it, you're going to realize that you don't enjoy going out so much anymore because nobody can prepare the food the way that you prepare it. So you're going to save money by that. So the 3 ways that we have managed to save money is, we find stuff on sale. We don't buy anything else besides the animal-based products. Now, we do have to buy a little bit of extra stuff because my partner is not 100% carnivore, because she has to have actual oxalates or a little bit of oxalates, and she doesn't want to go 100% carnivore. So we do have to buy a little bit of extra stuff for her, but we still have cut out all the potato chips, all the bad stuff that, you don't want to eat because it's bad for you. We've cut all that out, and we will buy like some salad stuff or some extra stuff because she has to have oxalates in her system. Otherwise, it's going to dump too fast. And we ended up just having to go to the hospital for a kidney stone removal because she went completely carnivore and we didn't understand the oxalate dumping. And so that's going to cost us money for the surgery. So if you don't, or you have somebody in your family who still wants to do a actual, not just animal-based products, then just make sure that they're not eating a bunch of junk. Of course, you can't control anybody else. You know, they have to want to make the move to improve their lifestyle. But if you still have to buy other stuff, then as long as you're buying the meat while it's on sale, then you should be saving money, and it's not as expensive as you think it's going to be. Plus, I always look at it like this, guys. Either you're going to pay for this on the front end, meaning that you're going to buy the foods that are healthier for you, or you're going to pay for it on the back end when you get older and you start having issues like type 2 diabetes or other issues that are going to require you to go to the doctor, have surgery, take prescriptions, or whatever. So you have to decide, do you want to pay for it up front, or do you want to pay for it on the back end? So I told you guys that I was going to share with you guys how we managed to buy 65 pounds worth of beef or chuck roll for $375 at, I think it was, we paid $5.59 a pound. Now, before I get into to tell you guys about this, this was a video. I learned this through a video that I saw online, and I don't remember the channel's name, but they were talking about how they went to Costco and they bought this meat in bulk. So every time I go to Costco, we look at the meat prices and they're just ridiculously high. So we have never purchased meat at Costco besides ground beef until we saw this video, and then we decided to try it ourselves. Now, I didn't record a video of us buying it, and I wish I would have, but I just don't like to record videos in public at stores. So here's the picture of the beef that we bought. You can see that we bought it. When we bought it, it's just huge slabs of meat. It kind of reminds me of the Rocky movie when he's in there punching the meat and these slabs of meat are hanging from the wall. Well, that's how this packaged meat is. It came in 3 huge slabs. So what you do, if you do, like I said, if you have a Costco membership, then what you do is you go up to the butcher area where they're cutting the meat in the back. And if you see somebody come out, or you can knock on the window and somebody will, help you, and you can tell them that you want to buy a box of chuck roll, and they will sell you a huge box of chuck roll. Now, this huge box of chuck roll can be 80 pounds plus. Now, ours was 65 pounds, and the guy that sold it to us, the meat manager, told us that we got lucky because it was prime. So we paid $5.59 for 65 pounds of meat. So the thing is that when you buy this, guys, they don't cut it for you. You have to actually cut it yourself. They just sell you the box. You walk up to the cash register and you pay for the entire box. You take it home and then you have to cut it yourself. So we don't know how to cut meat, but we took it to my partner's parents' house, and her dad has been a meat cutter for several years, and he actually cut this meat for us. So you can see in the video, guys, what we did was we bought this huge box of chuck roll from Costco, and we took the box to her parents' house, my partner's parents' house, and he showed us and walked us through on how to cut meat. Now, I had to video it, of course, because I don't know how to cut meat, and I wanted to make sure that the next chuck roll that we actually bought, we would know, or we would be knowledgeable about how to cut chuck roll. So if you don't know how to cut chuck roll, guys, even if you don't have somebody in your family who knows how to cut meat, there are tons of videos online or channels online that will show you how to properly cut chuck roll, so that way you can vacuum pack it and store it in your freezer, which is what we did, guys. And I just wanted to show you guys this video of my partner's father cutting the steak and walking us through the process of how to properly cut the chuck roll so that we could vacuum pack it and store it in our freezer. That way, when we buy another one, we will be able to do it ourselves, because there is a specific way to cut meat. I mean, you can cut it any way you want. It's yours when you get it. But if you want it to be tender, you want it to be nice and tender, you want to make sure that you're cutting it right. And we wanted to make sure that we're getting the most cuts from that slab as possible. And we ended up with 23 roasts and 10 steaks, and then I think like a pound of beef tips. So we have enough meat. I don't know how long this is going to last us. I'm thinking that it's going to last us at least 3-4 months, and then we will buy another one again. Now, the reason that we bought in bulk, guys, is because if you have been doing any research or you've been doing any grocery shopping, you know that the cost of beef is going up. Or before we actually bought this big box of beef chuck, we actually went like 3 weeks before, and we had to make room in our freezer to buy this. We went to Costco to ask the guy how much it would be. We were quoted a price of $4.60, I believe, $4.40 a pound, or $4.60 a pound. I don't remember exactly how much. Well, when we bought this and he gave us the case and put it in our shopping cart, we actually noticed that it was $5.59 a pound, or $5.50 some cents. I'll throw the price right here, guys. So it had went up. So we went back and we knocked on the window and told him that we had been quoted $4 and some cents a pound. And he said that was probably the case 3 weeks ago. He said, but the price of beef, it continues to climb. So that was the reason that, we paid more than what we thought we were going to pay. So while it is expensive to buy it in bulk on the front end, I can tell you that in the long term, it does come out cheaper. So now you might be thinking, okay, so how do we cook this? So there's different ways you can cook this, but because chuck roll it can be tough. Certain parts of that slab do come out to be tough. My partner's dad cut it up into steaks, and then the tough part were the roasts. We actually sous vide it, and then we sear it on the grill, and that has been great. So we sous vide the meat, or the roasts, at 133 degrees for 28 hours. And then once that's up, we take them out of the sous vide, drain the stuff, dry the meat, and then we lather it with some beef fat or tallow, and then we throw it on the grill and sear it for 2 minutes on each side. And let me just tell you guys, this has come out really tender and we love it. So while we would love to be eating ribeyes like a lot of people on Carnivore said that you need to eat, we just can't afford to eat ribeyes all the time. So we found that the best way to do this is to buy meat on sale and buy it in bulk at Costco. And those are the two methods that we use to make sure that we're eating as inexpensively as we can. And like I said, guys, either you're going to pay for it up front right now, where you're eating better, making better choices, doing exercise, eating right, and that way you can avoid all the health issues that come from diet later on down the road. Or you continue to eat the cheap stuff, the carbohydrates, the refined foods, the processed sugar, all this stuff that's going to cause you to go to the doctor when you get older and have all kinds of health issues that's going to require you to pay for prescriptions. Who knows what else, guys? So for me, in this household, we choose to pay for it up front right now. It can be expensive, guys, but with these tips that I just shared with you, I'm hoping that you'll understand that it's not expensive as you think it's going to be. And if you have started Carnivore and you have more tips that will help us save money by eating the right foods and making the right choices so that we can stay on our carnivore lifestyle, let me know down in the comments below, guys. And like I said, guys, every money saving tip helps, especially if you're trying to catch up for retirement like we are, and you know that you're not going to have the money to be able to go to the doctors all the time. And not only that, guys, even if you're not trying to catch up for retirement, we all know that medical care in the United States is so expensive that the last thing you want to do is have to run to the doctors for something that you could have controlled through diet. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to this channel so that you can be notified whenever I put out a new video. And I will talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye.